People versus Schultz, case number 235194.
Garrett Cook on behalf of the people.
Thank you, Ravi Gurmati, on behalf of Ms. Schultz. Ms. Schultz is here at the podium, Judge.
Thank you. This is the date and time set for a sentencing matter. Ms. Schultz, have you had a chance to go through the pre-sentence report and talk to Mr. Gurmati about that?
Okay, hold on.
They don't work.
They don't work. Okay.
No. I just do this and then I can hear you.
Okay. We had the trial. You didn't say anything about having trouble hearing at the trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a hard time hearing you guys.
You never said anything. Why didn't you say anything then?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Did you have a chance to go through the pre-sentence report with Mr. Gurmati and talk to him about that? Yes or no?
I said yes.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Okay. Mr. Gurmati, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No, Judge.
Are there any challenges to the scoring?
No.
Ms. Cope, do the people have any additions, deletions, or corrections?
Your Honor, we would ask to reserve restitution. We have put in a request from the animal hospital. They were gathering the information, but we have not gotten it yet.
Okay. I'll reserve that. Any other additions, deletions, or corrections?
No,
Any challenges to the scoring?
no.
Anything on behalf of the people for allocution?
This court sat through the jury trial and heard all the facts, so I'm not really going to add much, although there are way more facts contained in the jury trial than there were in the PSI. We were all privy to that. I have struggled with whether or not I think jail is appropriate for Ms. Schultz. Given that she has done this before, these are pretty egregious circumstances. I do think some jail is appropriate. I mean, I'm not saying we need to send her to jail for a year to prison or anything crazy, but I do think based on the facts here and the fact she has done this and recently, within the last few years, I think her jail is appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gurmati?
Judge, Ms. Schultz is 67 years of age, no prior felonies, she's 2 prior misdemeanors. Ms. Schultz is on Social Security income. Ms. Schultz clearly believes that she's not guilty of the offenses that she that was charged, and while she does respect what the jury found her, she still believes that she was not guilty. That's why we went to a trial in this matter, and the court sat for 2 days of trial. I think the jury deliberated for a lengthy period of time, evaluating all the evidence. They didn't believe Ms. Schultz's position, but Ms. Schultz intends to, by right, at least file the appeal. It was a trial by jury. She believes that, again, I don't know what errors she plans to raise in that, but she believes that she was not guilty of those charges and maintains her innocence of those charges as well. Ms. Schultz, I don't believe deserves any jail time, given her age, given the lack of criminal history. This is not some individual that was dealing with drugs and dogfighting, where it was something so egregious that she was jailed over this. And I would again apprise the court that at one point the plea offer was a delay of sentence, which would have not put her in jail, but the idea was for her to not own dogs. And I think that is accomplished by way of the pre-sentence recommendation in the orders. I usually don't bring up what the plea offers are in cases because those are usually out-of-court statements, but I think it's important here because at one point Ms. Cope also believed that jail was not necessary for Ms. Schultz, but prohibiting her from owning dogs was what the goal was. I think the sentence, by way of sentencing, the court accomplished that. And then I'm surprised that Ms. Cope today indicates that some jail should be imposed on Ms. Schultz, and I just don't think that's necessary. I think the recommendation here is well within reason. Guidelines is 0 to 11 months. The presumption is no jail. Certainly the court has the ability to overcome those issues, but I don't think that given the family dynamics, her husband's here, they've been here in all court proceedings. They've been married, I don't know, 49 years or something. They've been together forever. I just don't think that any incarceration resolves anything or sends any particular message to Ms. Schultz, but Ms. Schultz has the appeal process and can go through those issues and deal with those issues through the legal system. But I would think that the recommendation is over the reason I asked you to adopt, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Schultz, anything that you wanted to say today?
I don't even know how to say it. All of it's not true. Not a single word of it. When Inga Walter I got bit by a dog. So I called them and told them, the police. And she came out to meet the dog. And I gave her the paperwork. And she actually, the first thing she said when she went through the paperwork, "Oh my God, you get $1,500 a puppy?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I got the pedigree in it." That is so unfair. The next thing you know, they're beating on my door, kicking my door in, and telling me that I threatened to put my animals down one at a time. That's not true. I never told her that. Never. And all I maintained is, it's a lie. You want to get the truth? You put Inga Walter up there, and you put Carrie over there, and you ask them what happened. Carrie lost her job because of Inga. Because she wouldn't lie on the stand against me. Honest to God, on my children's lives, both of them aren't being truthful. And there's nothing I can do. I'm a nobody. All I did was breed dogs, 1 or 2 litters a year. And my dogs were health tested. And when I had my 4 shepherds and 2 little guys. The 2 little guys would take turns going in to get groomed. Big guys, we would work on their nails, and summertime we gave a couple baths. Male dogs are known for being lighter in weight before they're 2 years old. I went to school for years to learn how to be a vet tech. I worked as a vet tech for 16 years. 16 years. I didn't just turn 65 and decide, this is the day I'm going to start destroying animals and hurting them. What about the other 50 years of my life here when I did nothing but take care of them? What is that? That's nothing. Nobody believes me. Nobody believes me. That's the truth. I don't believe in lying because there's no point in it. The truth always comes out someday, don't it? I don't think I deserve jail. But I do think the 2 of them together need to come up and own up to the fact what they did to me. When she took my dogs this last time, Carrie, there's nothing wrong with them. Nobody has any sores. Nobody has anything wrong with them. They got a vitamin every single day. They were taking oil in their food every single day. It had to do with keeping their skin healthy. The only dog that went to the vet that needed the vet was Ziva because something was going on with her ears. And I took her in. I did what the vet said, but it didn't stop. It was still happening. Then they shut me in the water. They didn't want to see her anymore. So then they came and took her. So there's nothing I could do. I don't hurt my dogs. Those little guys sleep in bed with me. When I get up, I put them in their crates, and then I feed everybody, and they go out. Granted, I don't set them out together, but sometimes I do during the day when there's just me there. I don't hurt my dogs. I have never hurt a dog ever in my life. I take care of them. I put them back together. I've done it to several other animals that couldn't go to the vet when they didn't have money. I just took care of them. I don't hurt dogs. The only 2 things in my life that make me happy are my grandkids and my dogs. She took my medical alert dog and killed her. Put her down because she said she was mean. Misty was not mean. He was not Misty. She wasn't mean. She was not a bad dog. She would wake me up when that was my problem. My sugar goes too low in the early morning hours. And she'll push me out of bed till I wake up so I can take care of it. Last Thursday, my sugar was 31 when I got up. 31 is awful low. I need a dog to help me with that. It's not going away. I'm not guilty of any of this. None. It was all made up in Inga's mind. And now it can push it. Karen she wasn't in my house the whole 8 hours, the whole time she was there. She cooked her dinner, her birthday dinner, and went outside. She went to the doctor and spent 3 days sleeping in that. Never came out, never asked for water, never used the bathroom. 3 days. I asked her, what kind of drugs were you taking? And she says, well, the doctor would give it to me because I tell him I got this wrong or that wrong. So I figured doctor shopper, when she goes on, that she's not coming back. But I caught her stealing my dishes. She would take dishes out into the camper and not bring them back in. And then she would make more food, take more dishes out. I was down to 4 forks. I'd buy new stuff. She took my plates. He told me. She didn't, I kind of figured it, but, and I did. I went to her and I said, you have to bring the silverware stuff back in, or pretty soon we won't have anything for you to take out. What, 2 days later, I'm beating my dog with a stick? Can you see how absurd this is? I cannot fathom how this can happen. I've never hurt a dog, never. I've hurt a dog. I did rescue work and placed rescue dogs. My own money paid for their spaying and neutering. There's nothing I'm against that stuff. Because I know some people are really stupid. That's why my dogs, when they went, that's what we did. And I didn't plan on breeding them dogs because Rogan had only 1 testicle, and I would have a herniated, umbilical cord herniated, and it wasn't something she did, it was something Mom did when she was giving birth to her. But I did want to make sure their hips were okay, so and they asked me several times. I said, no, I just want to know the hips are okay. That's all I want to know. Actually, it turned out not to be okay, which is another reason not to breed. But I liked them and I wanted to keep them. I mean, those 2 dogs were the best dogs I ever had. House broken, crate trained within 4 months. They would run around the yard, like chase chipmunks, which ticked off one of my cats. I don't hurt dogs. I talk to them. He would say, who are you talking to? I said, I'm talking to the dog. He was the only road truck driver. He wasn't home a lot. He was gone for 2 weeks and then come home for a weekend. So I talked to my dogs. That's all I had.
I think I've given you enough time to tell me what you wanted to tell me. As the prosecutor indicated, I did preside over the trial, so I heard all the evidence, saw the pictures.
And those pictures were made up. Okay, I'm sorry.
I gave you lots of time to say what you wanted to say. Now it's my turn, okay?
Okay.
I heard all the evidence and I heard all the testimony. I saw the pictures. And there's no question in my mind that you were not caring for these dogs properly. And that's what the jury found. And ultimately, in our system, the jury is the last word. And they found that you were guilty. So I look at this as you have been convicted of this charge. So the only question is, what is the appropriate penalty here? And the thing that really strikes out to me is that, you were convicted of the same exact thing in 2019 in Antrim County. And you were given probation and you didn't change anything about what you were doing. You continued to engage in the same type of behavior with regard to these animals. And there's no question in my mind they were being kept in those crates way too long. No dog deserves to be locked up like that for 22, 23 hours a day. And what that tells me is the first time you got in trouble for this, you didn't change anything. You didn't learn from it. You didn't decide to do anything different. You did the exact same thing, just in a different place. That tells me that the probation before didn't have the proper effect on you. And so in my view, there needs to be an additional penalty here so that you understand that this is wrongful conduct. You cannot do that with regard to dogs. You can't take care of that many dogs. You shouldn't have that many dogs. It's not fair to the
I had
animals.
six.
Yeah.
2 little ones and 4 bigger ones.
Yeah.
I can't. I've been doing it all my life.
Well, if I'm gonna believe you or a veterinarian's testimony, I'm gonna give a little more credit to a veterinarian's testimony about what the proper way is to care for a dog.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna argue with you about it. The jury found you guilty. I think a short jail term here to kind of reinforce this message is necessary for you to learn that this is not the way to do things, and to hopefully prevent you from doing this again.
I have
Sure,
doctor
you want to.
appointments. I have to get my hands
So the
taken
court is
care of.
gonna sentence you to 2 years of probation. The court's gonna adopt as the conditions of the probation, all the terms and conditions listed in the report. The court is gonna order that you serve 7 days in the Crawford County Jail. You do have credit for 1 day served. Crime victims assessment of $130. Court costs of $325. Attorney fees of $350. And state cost of $68. You have the ability to seek an appeal of this sentence, and Mr. Gerber, you can provide the appeal rights to Ms. Schultz.
So be a paper, but I need yours, initials right there.
Okay.
Give me your glasses. Let's do this. Just for the record, Ms. Schultz has her.
Ms. Schultz, you can go with the officer now. You're the county.
Just have one question.
Yes.
Ms. Schultz needs to grab, I believe, medications if she has them there.
I do have, I have
And,
several meds I take.
Can you help her grab that? Or get it for Mr. Gerber.
You have them meds? They reimburse?
Oh, I was told there'd be no jail sentence.
They're not reimbursed? No.
They're in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Okay, my prescription ones are in the box. And my insulin.
I bring them over to
You bring right
Oh,
over
God,
to
the
the jail.
last time they did that, they messed up my insulin.
And Jay, I know she has some medical appointments. I don't know if the court would entertain any furloughs if she
I
has to
have,
make those appointments. I believe her husband can drive and.
I would need medical documentation for the doctor of the appointments,
Good.
because I don't believe that Ms. Schultz. would be about that. So I would need medical documentation.
I don't understand.
I'll come back to you.
Something happened to my wrist. I had surgery on them. That's a little bad. I mean, nobody would. I'm not joking. I'm not gonna run on you.
All right, Mr. Thompson, are you ready with Ms. Mellon's case, Jamie Mellon?
I will see if she's in the lobby here.
All right, thank you.